I'm Christina with the Turned Leg. I love to salvage, repurpose, and create and help others to do the same. And I'm also a booth owner. I have a piece that a friend of mine was gracious enough to give to me. It needs some work, but the question is, can I make it pretty and get it ready to sell in my booth and give it a full makeover? We're going to be using milk paint today. I'm going to show you step by step. This is a simple project. You don't have to toss those old pieces that need a ton of work. I'm going to show you what to do. I love beautiful vintage pieces of furniture, and I love restoring them when it's possible. But this piece actually had linoleum attached to the top and the bottom of it with a heavy adhesive. And there's lots of other issues here too, like really deep stains. I have sanded everything down with 220 grit sandpaper, but refinishing is not an option. I'm going to show you an easy solution to make this piece beautiful again. For this project, I decided to use Navy Blue's Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. Sweet Pickins Milk Paint is a powder-based, all-natural paint that you have to mix yourself. That's what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not as hard as you might think. If you want to see more videos, I'll pop a link in right here on another video on how to use Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. So I'm going to be using 1/3 cup of Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. It is all natural. You don't have to worry. I'm going to be putting it into a disposable cup. And the key to getting a good mix, one of the keys, is hot water. Equal parts water and milk paint. I will say for me, like a few drops over of the water always seems to work best. But you do you. Start off small. This is what you get. What I like to do, now you could mix it up with a plastic fork or a whisk completely on your own like this. But if you really want to get the absolute best mix possible, you need to use an immersion blender. Get one of these, use it only for milk paint, and you're just going to put it in, make sure you're touching the bottom, and mix well. The way you're going to know it's mixed well is see how it's not dripping right off. It's a little gooey like a melted milkshake. That's how you know that you've got good milk paint. And you want to keep blending to get the lumps and bumps out. And you are set to get painting. Are you enjoying this video? If so, take a second and click the like button and subscribe. Also, if you click the bell, you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. It really helps me to grow my channel, to help others to salvage, repurpose, and create. When you're working with milk paint, it's really important you clean off your piece. I'm using Awesome as my degreaser and cleaner. I got it at the dollar store. I just spray it on and wipe it off. This stuff works really well, really inexpensive. It's amazing what you're going to get off of your piece, even though you think it's clean. You don't want that for the milk paint. Milk paint works best on sanded surfaces or previously painted surfaces. I did lightly sand the top of this table with 220 grit sandpaper before painting, and I'm making sure I'm getting everything nice and clean before we start. Now it's time to apply the milk paint. I did run into some problems with painting milk paint. The temperature outside was 38 degrees. That's a little chilly for milk paint, but what was even worse was the wind chill had it at 31 degrees. Milk paint is not recommended for such cold temperatures, and the moisture in the air did affect the drying time a bit. And so my milk paint here is taking much longer than usual to dry. Even though it was still slightly damp, I decided to apply the second coat and I moved my piece into the garage. Milk paint usually needs 2 coats to get really good coverage. After I had 2 coats on, it was time to let the piece dry and run some errands. And the cool thing about milk paint is once it's dry, you might be lucky enough to get some chipping. Okay, let's take a look at the piece, and it's still not dry. Normal dry time for milk paint is about 15 to 25 minutes. Since the cold temperatures and the moisture in the air, I reverted to some crazy techniques. And this can also cause excess chipping, so beware. I grabbed my hair dryer to help dry the piece. And as it dried, I did get some chippiness. If you're not a fan of chippy milk paint, you can use a little extra bond in your milk paint to prevent all chipping. When your piece is totally dry, if there's chippiness, you can just get the chippy paint off quite easily. I also like to go over it with a little sandpaper just to make sure all of the loose paint is removed. Keep in mind the top coat you apply to your piece may cause more chippiness if it is a liquid top coat. And since the weather was quite cold, I moved the piece inside to work on the top coat. For the legs of this piece, I'm going to use DIY Paint Dark Wax. When you add a wax, it normally does not encourage any more chippiness. Applying the wax will also darken the wood that was revealed and kind of bring the whole piece together. For more information on how to apply wax, you can click on the link to the video above. When I flipped over the table, the wood underneath was really dried out. I decided to also apply dark wax here, which will bring the wood back to life and protect it. To seal the top surfaces, I decided that I would use Sweet Pickins Dark Oil Wax. This is a stain and top coat in one. It's going to be very similar to what the dark wax did, but oil wax is a little bit more durable right after it cures and only takes about 24 hours or so to cure. You can follow the directions in the bottle for application. I like to mix it up, pour it directly on the surface, and then wipe it over. It's okay if it's kind of ugly because the oil wax is going to soak into the piece. You allow it to soak for 15 to 20 minutes and then you will wipe it clean. Use a lint-free cloth, and once you've gone over it with one cloth, grab a fresh cloth to make sure that you have removed everything on the surface. After 12 hours, you can apply another coat if you want it darker or just another layer of protection, and follow the same procedure. The project is complete. Let's take a look at the before and see how it turned out. This piece will be headed to my booth at Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall for sale. To purchase any of the paint or products that I used on this piece, you can get them on my website at shoptheturnedleg.com or in my booth at Plaza Antiques. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the makeover. I hope it's inspired you to try something new. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create. Check out another video with Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. Click on the video here.